Yes, this morning the life ended while I was talking about my teaching experience.
All right, you can
And
continue
that
now.
most of my years they were spent under the PNP. And when I compare and I know others who are able to do so, I remember the anguish, the pain, the suffering when we as teachers we had to sign the wage freeze. We had to take the wage freeze. Truly, in those days, you would know us by the apparels we wear. Especially those of my colleagues who didn't understand this. I did home economics for my diploma, and I learned certain things during that time. Whenever you're ironing your clothes, do not iron your clothes on the right side.
Yes, I remember those.
If you iron your clothes on the right side, then very soon they will look very dilapidated.
Very shiny and glassy.
Yes, and washed out and all of that ironed out. But I learned very early, oh, perhaps that is why I escaped that look. Because in home economics, we were taught to iron our clothes on the wrong side. And then when you iron it on the wrong side, it looks new for as long as ever. Let me tell you something. In those days, shoes without tip, are we that? Teachers walking in a town, you could hear us from a mile. Come, 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 come. Make we talk it truth, man. Wash out clothes, and you can see some of us, we don't even use the right color thread for sew up when they pull out. How many times have we sew it up back? And we did have one bag when that sell that time. We make from the plastic straw them. Not plastic straw that you drink out of, this fine straw. I don't know if anybody remember those little shopping bags. Every teacher did have to hold one of that to put in the lesson plan book. And so forth. So we had a look that nobody else wanted to have. We were mocked and we were jeered. I remember when we signed one of the time, the then government, the PNP government, raised their own salary by, I think it was either 100 or 2 or 100 or 4%. So when people are talking over the amount of money that government salary has been raised by, it's nothing new. And I've never seen the JLP go on ahead to raise their salary and ask teachers to take a wage freeze. As a matter of fact, let me tell you something. JLP don't have that luck in this country. I notice there are a lot of us who will take the crap from the PNP. And no matter how much the JLP is trying, we'll never say give them a chance. And I heard a man on a live talking about say, it is because of the honesty of the PNP government why the teachers took the wage freeze and were willing to take it. We were mad with the government after the wage freeze because after it ended, Peter Phillips, I always try to talk like him when he said this. Yes, the wage freeze has ended, but I hope that the teachers know that the government don't have the money right now to give them the kind of raise that they would want and all of that. From I have been receiving a little raise under the PNP. It is always no more than 5%. Me no remember double-digit raise under PNP. 5%, 7%. And if a 5, you get 3 in 1 year, 2 in the other year. If a 7, you get 4 in 1 year, 3 in 1 year. Master, let me tell you something. When the JLP came, and when Audley Shaw promised to bring the public sector workers' salary up to 80%
80% of the public sector, yes.
of the private sector rate. And that's how we get with deliverance. When I got my salary and I looked at it, I said to the secretary at the office, I hope they know what them are doing because me not have the money to pay back hardly if a mistake he make.
Lord.
I had to sit down and read thoroughly through my pay slip because of the magnitude of the raise, the great change that I see. Monted never mean anything to any of us. We didn't know what to do with what the PNP was giving us. And those of us who did fast and even go take people out, NHD and whatever, struggles. Teachers had children at home who could go to university and couldn't send them because of the struggles at that time. And not to mention the struggle to get the student loan. Right? So when people talking garbage, my granny would have said, when father talk, you lock your ears. You see, even the last strike the other day, I did not take part in that strike. And when they asked me, I said, you know what? I can't. I am still being grateful for what the JLP did in terms of raising my salary. And I'm still grateful that we went through a pandemic and I stayed at home, I taught from home, and every month throughout the pandemic, my salary went to my account still. I was not asked to take a pay cut. I was not laid off or anything like that. So I have to come out and teach the nation's children. And I appreciate what the JLP has. Look here, Chuck and Chopper, talk your truth. First time, when you go in a schoolyard, you see one old car parker, you know a fee principal, not true?
Principal that alone, yes.
And maybe before a vice principal retire, a vice principal will have something park up there to maybe.
Yes.
Now, when you go to schools, we are an ungrateful set of people in the nation. When you go to schools and when you look in the parking lot, you don't even know which one of the principal, except they mark each spot. Some institutions will mark the spot where the principal must park and the vice principal must park. But all of them have vehicle, and then you don't dilapidate clothes anymore. Them own she now. Them can go out twinning, tripleting, quadrupleting, you name it. We mustn't be ungrateful.
But Fluffy, let me ask this. Is it that the teachers themselves are the ones being ungrateful, or is it that the Jamaica Teachers Association are leading them in that direction?
Well, that too. That too, because I tell you one thing that I see, because I am teaching from 1996. You see, JTA, don't make them fool with us. Politics don't affect what them do. You know what kept those teachers down to those wage freeze and memorandum of understanding and everything? Who the PNP put there. And when they accomplish, and I say that without any water in my mouth, when they accomplish what they put them there to do, they just give them a school. They give them a nice vehicle and they give them a school that they want to run. One of them school where gravy nice and the meat nice. You see, and up until now, The PNP has been holding on to the neck of JTA. Sometimes I quarrel and say, better than stop taking money. Better that union stop throwing the money.
Fluffy, I remember an incident back in, I think it was 2016 or 17, when the government was negotiating the 4 years of back pay from the wage freeze.
Yes.
And they said we are gonna pay 50% this year and 50% the other year. And the JTA on their own refused the offer. But they did not bring it to the teachers themselves. They refused it. And it was when the offer was leaked and the teachers themselves was aware of it that they put pressure on the JTA and said, no, you have to take it.
Yes.
So, JTA has been
at that time it was my nice fluffy friend there. What's her name again? She was the president.
Yes.
And the same teachers turned on her, got angry and turned on her that she ball. Because she couldn't believe those were the teachers that she was so-called defending. When the teachers wanted an end to it and to get what they should get. Moreover, as you said that, Chuck, we remember that years upon years of money was owed to us. And it's the JLP that came in and paid off all of that was owed to us by the PNP.
Yes.
All PNP used to come and meet and come do a green teeth and say, oh, my mother was a teacher. Oh, my auntie was a teacher. My brother too. And go out there antics and nothing. Nothing.
Maxine Henry Wilson. Right? And the running creates a Maxine Henry Wilson. Nothing was done to benefit the teachers.
When people attack, me get brave. I am new to all of these lives and everything, you know. But let me tell you something. I just developed some gravity because somebody has to speak out. Somebody has to speak the truth.
Thank you. It is good to hear people from India speaking, because when they out here, we tell them that the teachers are far better off today. The nurses are far better off today. The security forces. Yes, Shika, go ahead.
I just want Fluffy to talk about the current raise, what they got the other day. What was it like and such like.
I'm wondering. Well, mind you, I'm not saying. Let me say this before I even answer that. I don't know anywhere in the world where the masses can say that my salary can do everything.
Nowhere.
There's always going to be a void. There's always going to be a place where you can say, I believe that I could have been doing well with a little more. Everywhere in our world, and from your born until now, I saw it set.
I saw it there.
Yes, I don't have figures now to give you, my dear. Another time, I would like prepare myself. Like to give you the figures. But it was a substantial raise. Somehow we need to talk the truth. Somehow we need to talk the truth. Say, we walk and trust people sitting. We walk and borrow 50 million loan. Even sometimes when we don't need to, because God knows there are persons that have to be trying for ends to meet, and children going to university and all of that. And I would like for what? Me not tell the lie, but I like for my salary turn up like the teachers of Germany. Like when the Prime Minister of Germany say, teachers teach everybody. But until now, the reality is it takes time for us for things to reach the place. And guess what? Somebody has to pay the price. Somebody paid the price for you and I to be standing on their shoulders. Somebody paid. Look back as far as slavery. Somebody died. Blood run, sweat, tears. So every step of the way, it's like you're stacking blocks or you're building. Somebody have to go, have to pay the price for something to be better. And those who do so may not even reap it. But those to come will reap it. But how many of us are so patriotic?
As them say, somebody has to plant the tree so you can stand in the shade.
But mind you, because we have the government want to look at, we can't look at ours.
There you go. But
we can't look at ours because the food in our government plate enough. So them always go and look over there, so. And they don't understand even the matrix of that. How long the government has not received a raise, blah, 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 blah. Because to tell you the truth, you know, we did start quarreling bad. But when I really heard the facts surrounding it, and concerning it, that calm, you know.
Right, Fluffy, I tell you, as I said, these are the things we speak about regular when I tell people that, listen, do not follow the people you hear and make noise. I encourage people. We over here encourage people, say, do the research, find out what is facts and what is fiction. I tell you, I know for a fact, Fluffy, that whenever you look at the teachers' parking lot nowadays, it is full with new vehicles. That is a far upgrade from what used to be. Right? I know now.
And only put them right in the trunk of the new vehicle there, the little business I
go on same way.
But you know what? The other thing is, we go into the classroom and we encourage the children to be multi-talented and multifaceted. So what about us? What about us? I can bake. So if I can bake, I'm gonna sit down all day ball about my salary in a teaching. And I know that teaching is taxing. Because if you're not mind sharp, it consumes you. But you have to get up and say, well, this is it. I have to multitask. Because ends have to meet, so I have to do so. One salary, if the one salary not bringing it, find ways, man. And there are so many easy ways these days. Easier ways of earning.
Well, the Prime Minister himself has showed us one, invest your money wisely and you will reap benefit.
Exactly.
Invest wisely.
Prefer bad buying.
Yeah, Miss Fluffy, that's...
Go on, come on.
Miss Fluffy, thanks for that information, because what is so interesting what you just said, because I looked at the salary and I realized that the teachers, they got significant increases. Now, when you talk, I spoke to a couple of teachers, and these, I would say they are so wicked, or I don't know if it's they're brainwashed by the whatever. But anyway, they all have this bad story. They line, but they only get 20%, it's not even 20. And none of them will never give you a good report as to what you are stating here. And it is so sad and they are so dishonest, you know. As a matter of fact, there's one teacher I spoke to. He teaches some school in Linstead. And I said to her, you got a nice increase. She keep denying it. And what do you think happened? The amount of stuff that she told me she did, you realize she got money. Then I said to her, thank God for the JLP government, they got a good increase. She said, I said, I jokingly said, I hope I vote JLP the next election because they gave a nice fat increase. They can do so much. She said, no. So I said, what, they're going to vote PNP? She said, yes. So I said, 1 second. So when PNP, not going to give you a raise, so you need to vote JLP so you can get raised. Because she don't really care, you know, because she will she will vote PNP and wait until take the salary freeze again, rather than voting JLP. So I said, boy, no, me no
Good night, Miss Fluffy. I want to say thank you so much for your service and for sticking with the youths of Jamaica since 1994, did you say?
1996.
1996. So that is what, basically 27, almost 28 years, almost 30 years you dedicate your service to Jamaica. And I have to say, my hats off to you and thank you very much for overcoming that fear of speaking out and joining us and giving us some insight. Because my thing is this, a lot of persons pretending as if the 90s, the 2000s under the PNP was glorious years and everything was booming and private sector and public sector and government workers were so happy. And all the bad things started since 2016. So I just want to thank you so much to come and talk about Peter Phillips and how he spoke to the teachers and tell them, and how the JTA aided them and allowed them to get off scotch-free with the wage freezes without any complaints.
Yes.
I don't know what is wrong with the mindset, and this is why some of the times when I get really rude and disrespectful to the teachers who come online, because, and it's not because I want to, but it's because they who should know better, who are molding the minds of young Jamaicans, come on platforms and say nothing. They just pretend I don't get it, right? And this morning earlier when you were speaking about the migration of teachers and them going abroad and pretending like it is a bed of roses, and how many of them coming back because it is not what they were sold. So so I was really waiting on you to come on. So I'm just grateful. So thank you very much for being honest and for being a true Jamaican, because this is not even about politics. It's not even about politics. It's just the raw facts as they are. So thank you very much.
True, because if I stayed it out when it was bad, I know it's better, I'm staying. And I am looking forward to next year's negotiation. That is what I know. Because nobody can tell me that it is worse now. Nothing like that.
5% at $10 is different from 5% at $20. And now you're going to the market with $20. Right.
Well, Chuck, what I heard earlier on a live, they come with them say in a 2016, $6,000 as minimum wage did better than 15,000 now because high inflation and the amount the money. That's what they come with them say. You can hear them this evening pan it.
Kizzy, me say one of them says sleep.
Comrades can talk. Every year, some years ago, going to Florida and on holiday, my sister would leave $50 or $70. Like when the grocery go down, and say top up the grocery, and we push that out of Publix or Walmart or those places with things flowing over off the top. I can, any one of you will travel, go now into Publix, Walmart, Winn-Dixie, you name them abroad in America. My family now, when we talk on the phone, is talking, when it's when that young man was talking all that bull about inflation and control, whatever, and whatever. Every time we talk, you hear them talking, oh, food prices escalating in America and whatever. Yeah, so it's not unique to certain things are not unique to Jamaica. When I used to go into this store called Ross with $100 US, and me come from a big family, so and when me stretch that the $100 like elastic band and try make every picnic in a yard, everybody get a suit of clothes or something, make me go in a Ross now with $100 and see if the most me come out with no 2 pieces.
Yeah, I live in Florida, right? And I go to the supermarket with $100, pick up full liquor item. I'm going to put back some.
All right.
Put back. And you don't carry a big bag. The liquor bag you're coming out with. When you go to Ross now, Ross was cheap. You can't go to Ross. If you carry $200, go to Ross and buy. You have to know where you pick up.
All right.
It's very hard.
Sometimes when they're even shopping for me, they will call me on the phone and do video call and whatever. And we have it as joke. We say, man, Ross and Ross like before.
No.
Or son, it's everywhere. It's worldwide. What I can't understand. The other day when the news about Nigel Clark and the IMF, the PNP said their statement was, where are we going to find somebody to fill Nigel Clark's shoes? Because they know deep within their hearts that the man has been doing a magnificent work.
Wonderful job.
They said it themselves. Who are we going to find to fill his space? And now that man come on this live this evening talking crap.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mind.
Very active.
And 18 plus years and they could not make it better. They could not make it better.
All right, so
Blacker.
yeah. Well, good evening.
Good evening, Blacker.
So, all right, my thing is, I was born in the 80s, so you know most of my years growing up, I grew up with PNP around the country, right? Well, I can remember when I get $1 US, it could barely buy a sweetie. Back then. Them long time. Until $1 US.
Now remember, I know Blacker, back in the 80s, people used to have $100 US put up tape up in them house as souvenir.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. $100 bill US used to tape up in a people's house as souvenir. People don't have to spend them when they get them.
Exactly. And then when Mr. Patterson start around the country now, I think Mr. Patterson around the country right down. I think the best time, the best the US ever stabilized in other country was when Mr. Bruce Golding winning in 2007.
That's when stability returned.
Exactly. So for me personally, I was raised up under the PNP. I born at St. Thomas. When me just I grew up and thing, it have tobacco factory here. It have Goodyear factory.
Eastern Banana Estate was there.
Goodyear factory. Cane.
Yes.
No, we don't have nothing. Literally. Even Sir JLP we'd have lost.
Thank you.
Separate, buy it out and lock it down.
The forgotten parish is what it got the name under PNP Blacker.
Exactly.
And now, finally, some life is being returned to St. Thomas.
Boy, can I tell you, we're getting the road fixed. We're getting a big plaza opening in process to open as soon as it's finished.
A brand new town center.
Exactly. And you see where I see where the JLP under the leadership of Mr. Wellness is doing great job. And honestly, I think say, I don't see which part the PNP deserve a term. I don't see them have a leader. I think the best person them having a them whole cabinet are Damien. That's my opinion though.
And them not like him?
And them not like him. I think he should have, if them did probably make him the leader, they would have probably have a chance. But I don't see which part them have a chance right now.
They man have no chance either.
And them not like him. You know.
Well, I understand they don't have a chance either, but I say I'm the best person I have right now who could really represent them. Because at least he have the provision.
Right. No, Shana, they may not go switch.
They may have ideas. They may have
good ideas.
They may don't know how to. They may don't even know how to explain his own ideas and how to implement them. And I want to tell you something what I realized lately, because everything that the government come out, they may run out and say it was his idea. But if you Google it and look. If you Google and look, and if you're a person who up to date on world affairs and current affairs in many other countries, a lot of the ideas that Damien put forward like is his, they are coming out of other countries. There are things that are already happening in other countries. So it's not his ideas, so to speak. He might bring it to the Jamaican public who are not aware of what is happening in other countries. And mind you, me not say Damien no have some sense, but Damien is also a fool in chat too much.
I'm sleeping in the Senate. Every time you watch him, in the last sleeping in the Senate.
Stop the Damien is a confused labor right.
I always say in talking so much till in talk pure nonsense.
Lisa was confused.
She works. Yeah, she works.
Right, but the fact is, the black guy is correct. There's no way on earth the PNP as it is should even have the moral authority to open their mouth. But them have lots of people who just don't know that is running behind them.
You see, that's the thing when we think they need to get rid of, what Jamaica needs to get rid of is this partyism. Because, alright, if you ask a PNP, a person that say they are PNP, what as the government, as their party has done within this past near future, in the past, right? They will tell you about Michael Manley. They can't tell you what PJ do, what Portia did. Everybody that I know that is still PNP is saying what Michael Manley did. They can't say anything their previous leader did.
The PNP supporters don't know what they're supporting. Because if you stop any comrade right now on the road, any random comrade that asks them about the People's National Party and why they support the People's National Party, they cannot put forward a good reason. So they run behind people PNP. They don't know what they must support.
And to be honest with you, somebody
they have no idea.
Somebody mentioned it earlier to say how they have this argument going around to say they had let's say $1,000 in, let's say 2015, and how much they could buy with it, and now the same $1,000 they can't buy. That is the most stupidest argument I've ever heard, because that was 2015. This is 2024. How can you make the argument to say you're going to have the same buying power when the world has evolved? In 2015, we used to drive what? Lada? A Lada, when something that did in the 80s. No, Lada was and Cartina.
Lada and Fiat.
And Cartina. Lada, we used to call it in a Montego Bay. We never the same in a Kingston.
We are coming from Morris Saxford, man.
No. I'm talking of the 80s, 90s.
Where I come from.
Lada, we used to call it Life and Death Association. When you drive a Lada car. Yes. Life, because them always a crash.
Yes, right? I remember that, Master.
Yes, and what I'm saying is that we used to drive Lada back then. Cartina car was the most expensive car then, Toyota Cartina. Now we drive Benz is nothing, Prada is nothing to us. Here is nothing to us. And you're going to tell me the same buying power you had in 2015 or 2020 going to be the same at 2024? That is so stupid. Right? Not only that, the minimum wage, what these people were arguing about economics and minimum wage, the minimum wage are mostly small business who pay minimum wage. Most of the bigger industries, they pay a little bit above the minimum wage because most of those people are more qualified. You'll find most of those people, either they're in that job for a long time or they're more qualified. Most of the small businesses are the one who pays minimum wage and wages, and those are the businesses in Jamaica where far more than the larger business and firms. So if you're gonna be raising it above 15,000, it's gonna cause a domino effect where you're gonna have to lay off people. You're gonna lay off people. You're gonna have less production now.
Master, that's why I would say it over and over that the People's National Party are good at what I call tugging at the heartstrings of people. To tell them, say,
right,
15,000, $6,000 better than 15, and people believe.
You know, we have a guy, we have a festival where I live up here, annual festival, and I'm in the Jamaican Caribbean. I was talking about it. And we have a guy that we hire from Ocho Rios, a limbo dancer. We pay the guy fare. We send the letter for him to go to the Canadian consulate. We pay the guy fare, plane fare, round trip. We also include 2 meals per day. Where he goes at the center, he can get a second meal, which is lunch free if he go there at lunchtime, because that's where they cook. We pay his insurance. We have to get insurance because he's not, he's a visitor. And based on where they carry him in, we have to get the insurance. We have to get the work permit. We put him up in a hotel, right? And we're giving the guy 1,500 Canadian for 7 days. 7 days. Plus, he stays for 2 weeks. We allow him to go, and there's another guy that goes around, you know, these little clubs and play steel band. He go there and perform. That is extra money for him. Nothing, no tax or nothing. The guy went and hired an agency and then tell us to deal with the agency. When we call the agency, they're telling us they want $10,000 plus all accommodation. So we said to him, hell no, have a nice day. Right now, he didn't come last year, the year before. Right now, he's calling us back to say, you know, he'd love to get back the gig. And you see what greed caused. He was getting, if you get 1,500 Canadian, that's approximately 200,000 Jamaican for 1 week. Which hotel?
1 week of work.
Which hotel in Jamaica gonna pay him $200,000 for the week?
Not one single one.
Not
just 7 nights. And by the way,
to the topic of minimum wage, Miss Marcy and others, I am asking who, because you just said minimum wage is like there's, you know, nobody now pay minimum wage in Jamaica, not even supermarkets.
Exactly,
not even the youth them wear a pack bag. Now pay minimum wage, and I can tell you something about them youth that wear a pack bag. You see the youth them wear a pack bag at the cashier, they are earning a lot of money because when they help you carry out your load to your car, your taxi, you will give them $500. You give them earn them lunch money every day. There is nobody. The girls them who work as bartenders, the bartenders them are earn $20,000 a week, $25,000 a week.
When they talk about raise the minimum wage over, it is the stupidest thing without reason.
Nobody, I don't know nobody who is earning minimum wage. Check mothers, check all of the fast food company, they are not paying minimum wage.
You know, and these people,
everybody get money.
They tug at the heart.
Tug at the heartstrings of the people.
Of the people, them. They do, and this is their playbook. If you notice it, everything.
Listen, Marcel, you see that as Chuck said, they tug at the heart of people who are not informed, because you look at it, a People's National Party supporter cannot come up against facts and information, or somebody who is schooled and is fully seized of the information. So they use emotions to tug at the heart of people. And on top of that, because Jamaica is a quote-unquote poor country, and for years we have grappled with slow growth and negligible growth and poverty and crime. They use those issues as political football to get people to create this doom and gloom situation. I give you an example. When after burial one year and tomato raise, then start jumping at and say, oh, it's a government fault.
Exactly.
Right? And that kind of argument they can peddle, they can put forward that kind of waste argument to persons who are not schooled in basic economics, or persons who are not informed. You get me? So that the PNP supporters and bloggers should be glad for spaces like TikTok, because this is the only space they can come with that kind of rubbish. Had it been somewhere else, they would have been laughed out of the room. You get me? So they're grateful for TikTok, and only per year they can come with the foolishness.
Look at the amount of social intervention that the government has put in place for the same people where they say not going for them. Look at the amount of social interventions.
Exactly, Miss Marcy. I was just about to say, even if there's a person, for example, say there's a single mother with 3 children who is earning, maybe she doing some like a little part-time job as a housekeeper, for example, right? She may be doing little odd jobs. So she's earning a little money by doing odd jobs, but her 3 children are on path. Exactly. And if you know how much she's collecting for those 3 children, remember me tell her she don't necessarily need to do no full-time work. She can stay home and take care of her kids on her little odd jobs and their kids and
America. Part of North America is called welfare. Part in North America is the same welfare system over here.
Welfare.
Right. When you get money according to the amount of kids you have and how old they are.
But guys, PNP used to welfare, you know, then you used to get handouts, but then go
No, man. No. PNP give a free money just like that without nothing. And this is what we're bankrupt country, we're crash economy. Because the country is low productivity.
That's what I mean. They used to get the handout. They don't work for it.
Right. The government now said, listen to me, they go school, you pick them free. Right? Even if they're on part, they go school them free for you. So they're not supposed to come back.
I'm going to jump the box and allow, I think it's DJ Chrome as one to come up. So Chuck or whomever bring no persons.
Give me my one. Give them my one.
And then this stupid guy came on, said he's an economist and doesn't know what is called a future. Doesn't know this is what Nigel came up with.
There is no economist.
Come on.
You have a personal vendetta against the party.
Is a man like Axel Grimes, man.
All of them also feel like they can run government better than the government. Yeah?
Listen to this. Other countries are looking at what the guy just did, what Dr. Clark just did, and said, but by the way, we can do that too.
Yes.
We can do that. Nobody ever thought of using their airport. Like I said, one other country came up with it, was in Ghana. And theirs failed because the people them take the money and keep the money. In here, they tell us what we're going to do with the money. Other countries now are looking to say, this is how we can generate money in our economy without a high interest rate. 6.75%.
Miss Marcia, I am a teacher. I know certain things when I hear it. The young man, when name Ramada?
Ramado.
Whatever him name, look here. Some of the names are out for spraying for me tongue these days. Him never sound too as if him repeat something with somebody was telling him or somebody told him.
Yeah, man, go look for some information.
That's what I got from his arguments, you know. What he was saying was nothing that he knew. He was merely reciting.
Yeah, man.
He was merely reciting some information that he got along the way, or somebody was giving him or showing him to say. He wasn't for real. I was here listening to him.
Yeah, man.
And then this
you have those who are the puppets, you know.
This guy gonna come and question.
You have those who are the PNP puppets.
Come and question. Somebody the IMF stole from us. Gonna come and question somebody and said how Peter Phillips did the same thing. Well, why didn't it work under Peter Phillips' hand then? If this is what Peter Phillips did, why did it not work?
Peter Phillips did no such thing.
Peter Phillips couldn't check $10 and $100 much more.
Thank you. Peter Phillips could explain his own tax policy.
I'm telling you.
Peter Phillips, thank you. Peter Phillips could not explain his own tax policy.
They were big money.
You don't understand?
5 times.
All right, blessed evening, peoples.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I can say I look at one thing or two things. I know I'm not stay long in the box more time. I just listen most of the time. All right, good evening, everyone. Fluffy, trust me. Well, boy, I come up on a live with you before, and I second time now this mirror upon a live, and I respect you. Thank you for everything you do. You're a great teacher and talking the truth. Yeah, okay. So bless up. Excellent. My boy say I'm good enough. I get him sweet tips. He say I'm good, but he do some late work, you know.
In company me live last night.
Okay, all right. So I'm all right.
If them will come on tonight.
Kids, bless up yourself, beautiful. All right, you say you want to talk to me, so you have to link me after here. All right. What may I say now? Where they say, back to the little argument that about the vehicle, the long time there. You know, that the 80s that the lad I dog around the place, lad that come up to the 90s or the PNP, PNP time, lad again.
Yeah, so where we come from, I think advanced, where we come from.
Yes, because you married Oxford, Spring Cambridge. If you left out that one day, because it looks similar.
Yeah.
On the backlight have a difference. Look, the backlight have a different shape.
Alright.
So I think Cambridge and Morris Oxford. Yeah, remember the time I youth, man. And I did my 19. Is that yeah. So I agree with everything when I say, I take in everything when I say, I don't know the people, they have no plan for Jamaica. You don't know anything already. I want to say, peer propaganda as usual. You see it? Yeah, man. I really have much for still, because I just do want to come bless up the place and speak. I'm going to hear my voice still, because a long time, not to come by live, because you look on the work thing.
Thanks for the past trip.
You know what I'm there, man. I answer before. Chuck, you know what I mean? Notice? Yeah. I left Jamaica in 1990. The first time I come back in 1995. When me come back to Jamaica, everybody knows I'm a foreigner. When I come back partly every year, I watch everything I go by. Now I come to Jamaica, me can't tell who a foreigner from who and a foreigner.
Thank you.
Because
thank you.
Everybody look good, brother.
I saw you go for true, man. Right now, and I like one time, and everybody, right now, I tell everybody looks same. I tell people that right now, and not even that neither. You can't even know country people different from town people neither.
Nobody again, Virgin.
Everybody up and set up and look nice. You see, man, that's the thing there right now. No foreigner can't go show up on a youth. No foreigner, when they use this damn thing, they can't see the difference. Right now, some man come a foreigner, my Virgin come from a foreigner, I'll see me more time and say, boy, you look fresh and look good, you're just nice. And whatsoever, he must say, boy, look better like a me live a foreign instead of him.
No, but so one time when I come to Jamaica, I have to foot every bill. And I can come to Jamaica and man at them say, no man, keep your money, man. I have paid around here.
Yeah, man, and I say it for go man natural, but that's why I want Jamaica reach a stage. When we leave Jamaica, we are travel like tourists. That means our economics good and whatever. That means that when I left Jamaica just through economics problem or whatever, struggling and them thing there. And that's what we want to always continue, brother, on our levels here. Yeah. Jamaica, we say first. And that's what we want to reach, my brother. So anytime we leave, we just have visit some place to know this and know this and whatever. Come back away hard. And that's what I reach.
We must start the tourist comers.
Where's that, Chuck?
We must start the tourists.
Yeah. Yes, man. I really don't know about me now. After my daughter, they want my grandparents where I come on and think that different right now.
Thank you.
Different right now.